Mr. Knobbe.
Good day. I'm Michael Max Knobbe, Executive Director of BronxNet. Thank you, Chairman Serrano, and members of the subcommittee for focusing on important issues that impact communities in terms of democracy, education, diversity, locally generated content, and access to technology. Chairman Serrano, you consistently and effectively demonstrate tremendous leadership and courage in representing the people of the Bronx with what will be 40 years of public service. The robust PEG environment in New York City and other parts of New York State can be fostered by state regulations on franchising, which encourage and allow for local authority, and in fact require PEG programming. At BronxNet, a voice is given to those who have no access to traditional media by providing training in media production and access to technology. This is democracy in a digital age. Brooklyn Community Access TV, QPTV, Manhattan Neighborhood Network, Staten Island TV, and BronxNet provide locally produced content on the public's channels that reflect the diversity of New York City. Together, New York City's public access centers have provided media production training to more than 20,000 people and have cablecast over 80,000 hours of original local programming a year. In a city where 170 languages are spoken, residents can find content in Spanish and English and everything from Urdu to Garifuna to Albanian to American Sign Language on PEG. BronxNet produces award-winning programming by, for, and about the Bronx. Locally produced programs concerning health, education, public affairs, arts, and culture inform the public and help connect the Bronx to the world. For example, BronxNet teamed up with Centro de Estudios Puertorriqueños in Hunter College and the Bronx Historical Society to produce Migration, the Puerto Rican Experience, the first in a series about the Puerto Rican people in New York City. The BronxNet training program for future media professionals has provided internships to over 1,000 high school and college students. Our partnerships, training for the public and students, and locally generated content contribute to community development through media. BronxNet and all the PEG centers that serve New York City exemplify the vision that Congress has for PEG access. We're fortunate that so far, reasonable franchises have been negotiated with telecommunications companies entering the New York City market. However, all this is in jeopardy because of FCC orders on video franchising, the legislation passed in 19 states preempting local control, and other problems. Media consolidation diminishes the local voice and leads to homogeneous, centralized programming. You won't see City University of New York basketball and other athletics on ESPN. You will see them on PEG channels. Cable operators are required by federal law to carry PEG programming on the basic tier of services. Unfortunately, in many states, operators will exile PEG channels to a digital Siberia, not anywhere near the basic tier. This practice is known as channel slamming. Charter Communications, Comcast, Bright House, and Time Warner are moving PEG channels into the upper 300s to 900 channel block in parts of the country. When Comcast attempted to channel slam in Michigan, a federal court found that the Comcast argument was flawed and issued a temporary restraining order while the matter is being further litigated. In addition to channel slamming, signal degradation, and inferior deployment for PEG channels, some cable providers require the purchase or rental of additional equipment to view PEG channels. In New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Connecticut, and other states, analog cable customers will have to pay an extra monthly fee ranging from $4.50 to $6.50 to receive PEG channels. This discriminatory practice pushes what is intended to be open, accessible, and inexpensive programming outside the reach of many consumers. We cannot provide PEG services if our hands are tied by state legislatures, the FCC, and cable operators. We support the Alliance for Community Media's 3 requests to this subcommittee. We also urge Congress to take concrete actions to, 1, correct the FCC's limitations and misreading of the franchise fee provisions of the Cable Act, 2, provide protections against channel slamming and discriminatory treatment of PEG channels, and 3, direct the FCC to conduct a study on technological needs for 21st century PEG services, emerging and new technologies, digital functionality, interactivity, video on demand, high definition, and other upcoming technological advances are ideally suited and integral for 21st century PEG access services for our nation. We thank you for your commitment and important work on behalf of the people of the United States. Stay strong.
That's the way you always end the programming. Thank you so much.